What's going on, guys? My name is Triforce Addiction. Welcome back to another COD mode video. So today I want to discuss the newly released tournament camo for Season 6 or Season 5 and Season 6 for Tournament Season 7. So of course we got a major update for Season 5, and obviously when there is a major update there is going to be a brand new tournament camo. This happens every like 2 seasons, so yes. The last one that we did have was fluorescent, which kind of like blew most of them out of the water. But this one is kind of different in that there are some people that actually really like this skin and there are some others that really don't. So this time around, we didn't really receive any information on the tournament camo for this, this new season. Not even the test server. There was no like indication that there was going to be a new one. Obviously there was, but I'm assuming that they gave us like a very, very early version of that test build. I say that because, when the actual update came out, there were so many different things. For example, the heartbeat sensor for the Hades was scrapped for the flashlight on the RUS-79U, which I will get into in a later video. But yeah, what we got now was completely different from what we were supposed to get, from what was shown in the test server. So of course the Korean version got their update first as per usual, and we finally got a glimpse of pixelated aggression. So even myself, I kind of misjudged this camo for what it was. At first, I was asking people if it was, parallax or if it was some sort of animated camo, but no, it's actually just a purely stationary camo. But this time around, it does have a pretty unique feature. So for the first time ever, we do have I guess a more light focused, or I guess a lighting focused type of camouflage. It's more or less kind of like if you think about like a mood ring, right? Based on your mood, it's going to change a certain color. Well, with this one, based on, certain lightings, it is going to change different colors. It really just depends on what map you're actually in. Sometimes it shines pretty well, sometimes it doesn't. And sometimes when you're reloading, you might notice that, the camo turns green or it turns purple or something like that. My honey bunny Taco calls it the bathroom tile camo, in which he's not really wrong, but I mean, these are pretty fancy bathroom tiles. But at the same time, it's very, it looks very, very metallic. It just looks absolutely incredible on certain weapons. If anything, this could have probably been like the Damascus equivalent or something, because it's just crazy good. Would I say it's the absolute best tournament camo? Absolutely not. I think fluorescent's still the best in my personal opinion. But, this is a very, very close second. I know a lot of people are fans, or I guess diehard fans of Red Sprite or Polychromatic or even Blistering Magma, but this one kind of caught me by surprise. I didn't think it was going to be this good. So at first, a lot of people on Twitter were saying that like, oh, this is not really a camo that's going to be very well desired. But if anything, their minds kind of changed over time within a few days when they started seeing like actually how good it is. And yeah, I mean, I think we've just been spoiled by like the past tournament camos that we've gotten. Like fluorescent, for example, or blistering magma, we usually expect it to be some sort of like slightly animated camo or some sort of parallax camo. But this time around, just like Golden Emerald, we went back to the stationary format. That's something I kind of expected. I mean, I wasn't really thinking that just because we got fluorescent once or like some sort of camo like that, meaning that we were going to get that every single time. I mean, obviously, we have to use some common sense here, folks. I mean, that's not always going to be the case. For me personally, I don't really care too much about it. I mean, it's a very good camo. I'm going to use it. Like for me personally, I always use like the most recent camos just to, I guess, enjoy the new content. And it keeps you kind of like busy well, not busy, but it keeps you like wondering what's going to be the next type of tournament camo. Because for all we know, we might get something that's worse than this, or we might actually get something that's probably way better. And that's like the cool part of like tournaments and just like waiting these 2 months. It's like you're always excited to see what's next. So while I'm here, I think it's also important to talk about the changes in tournament mode. So first off, I mean, there's really only one major change for tournament mode, which is the fact that you could either choose a multiplayer mode or you could just go straight to Alcatraz. So a change like that is probably one of the most welcoming things for tournament mode, because I do hear a lot of complaints about certain modes such as Ground War. I think the map rotation for Ground War is kind of bad in my personal opinion. For the most part, you're going like 90% of the time it's going to be Crossroads. Like that's literally the only map that's really in the rotation. I know sometimes there is like moments that like you'll play on Satellite, but it's not as much as Crossroads. But probably the one mode that a lot of people were complaining about the most had to definitely be just the swords and stones. I think anyone who's been playing tournament modes for this long probably already knows why it's the most complained, or I guess most hated mode. And that's mainly because the melee weapons currently right now aren't really that well balanced. Especially when it comes to the lunge, it's a little weird. You know, some of the melee weapons are good, some of them are bad, but for the most part, it just becomes a whole UFC competition. Since the boxing gloves are pretty much the best melee weapon as of right now, currently, yeah, there's you really have to just use that. If not, you're just doomed to fail. So being able to play on Alcatraz is a pretty good, like honestly, like that's probably like a gift from God. And keep in mind, I mean, like it could help me get to legendary in VR, like, you know, as I, you know, play it more. And for the majority of the time, if you like play first person, it's kind of like smooth sailing. You go against a lot of bots, so you don't have to really go your absolute best every single time. So I think that's probably one of the best changes that they could have ever made for tournament mode. It's funny because I never really liked the BR at all in this game because I think it got a little bit too much of Fortnite, you know, the third person stuff. That's stuff I just don't really like about it. I would rather go first person instead of that. But, you know, Alcatraz, you know, when you're playing with your friends, it's a lot of fun. You know, you guys are joking around. You guys are just, you know, having a good time. And yeah, like that's kind of like why I I like the fact that I could just play Alcatraz anytime now. And even if your team loses, you still get like 10. So like you don't really lose that much progress if you do not manage to come out on top in Alcatraz. But what I worry about this feature is that they might have made it a little bit too easy, and I think just because of that, they're probably gonna make the camos with lower quality since everyone's just gonna go straight to Alcatraz. But of course, I can be wrong. I mean, maybe there's gonna be something way better than pixelated aggression. I mean, we never know. I mean, only time will tell. I mean, we're not gonna see another tournament camo until July. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like, make sure to subscribe, and also let me know what you guys think about the new pixelated aggression camo. I really want to hear your thoughts about it because there's a lot of mixed opinions. But yeah, let me know what you guys think.